Manducaverunt et saturati sunt nimis et desiderium eorum atuliteis Dominus. Non sunt fraudati a desiderio
The chant today is inspired by Psalm 77, which recounts Israel's wanderings in the desert after God leads them out of the slavery of Egypt. This particular moment recalls God giving manna and winged fowl to the Israelites, bread and then meat in the desert, from heaven to satisfy their hunger. However, in its original context, these events are unappreciated by the Israelites who grumble and complain and test the Lord, craving and demanding more and more, without any wonder or gratitude, which would be the appropriate response to this miracle of God's abundant love for them. St. John of the Cross comments, saying, "These whom God begins to lead through the solitudes of the wilderness are like the children of Israel, who, though God began to feed them as soon as they were in the wilderness, with the manna of heaven, which was so sweet that, as it is written, it turned to what every man liked, were more sensible to the loss of the onions and flesh of Egypt, for they liked them and had reveled in them, than to the delicious sweetness of the angelical food. So they wept and bewailed the flesh pots of Egypt, saying, We remember the fish that we ate in Egypt, the cucumbers come into our mind, and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic." Why then would this event be the inspiration for today's communion chant? There is a hint in the music itself. The melody of Saturati sunt nimis, they were exceedingly satisfied, is echoed again in the melody of non sunt fraudati, they were not cheated. It is as if, in a liturgical interpretation of the event, the arrangers of this chant and text are bearing witness to the experience of the Church through the ages. Namely, that now the satisfaction of the bread does not cheat, so to speak, our desire, promising something it cannot fulfill. Because now the bread we feed on is the reality that the manna was pointing to. The bread of angels become flesh, become a man, the body of Christ. John of the Cross concludes his commentary with a single observation. Our appetite becomes so depraved that we long for miserable trifles and loathe the priceless gifts of heaven. In other words, in order to help us taste in faith the gift of this bread that does satisfy, John asks us, what is it that we desire? If the bread we crave, what we think will satisfy our hearts, only cheats them in the end, if we feel ourselves defrauded, is this not a sign that our hearts are made for a greater, truer satisfaction? One witnessed to in the quiet joy that permeates this chant, and in the leap of the heart which surges upward like the notes of eis, to them. When we bump into someone who's certain that this indomitable desire has been given to them for true fulfillment, given by the one we call Dominus, the Lord.
Manducaverunt et saturati sunt nimis et desiderium eorum Tuliteis Dominus, non sunt fraudati a desiderio suo.